now rocking with the best. Who's the boxing show that's knocking out the competition? The kick-ass podcast that make you want to listen. The place where boxing fans and fighters rejoice. Thumbs up for Richie, you're listening to the fighter's voice.
Rich Ortiz here with the fighter's voice. We're live. The only voice that matters, we're simply knocking out the competition. This is a combination of the fighter's voice kick-ass podcast. I'm kind of blurry a little bit. Kick-ass podcast and also just the fighter's voice. We're going to talk to you about Friday's upcoming event with Jose Ramirez taking on Jose Pedraza. My tongue got stuck a little bit there. It was a great press conference yesterday. The weigh-in took place today, and the energy was right there. But before we get started, I want to thank our sponsor of tonight's show, and that's the Fresno Police Association. There you go. Fresno County Public Safety Association. Let me say it again. The Fresno County Public Safety Association. They're sponsoring tonight's show. They're a proud sponsor of The Fighter's Voice. And I want to talk to you a little bit about them. May 14th, they're going to have an event in Fresno, California. It's going to be amateur boxing with a professional atmosphere. You're going to have some officers putting on the gloves and letting them hands fly. It's going to be full of entertainment. There's going to be music. There's going to be food. And most of all, it's going to be early enough where when the party is over, you can go attend another party. We're not going to keep you there all night. I believe we're going to have like 8 fights there scheduled. In the main event of this fight, I mean, this guy came out of nowhere. He said, you know what? He told the promoter, put me on the card. I know who your main event person is. I want to take him on. I'm not afraid of him. The fight is not going the distance. Today, they shot a video today, and I heard it was heated. It was heated. It was real. It took place. A lot of that was captured on video, and it's going to be released soon here only on The Fighter's Voice. And that's Adam El Gato Gordo Zamudio. I mean, look at that dude right there. Just think, that's the guy that protects you and serves, keeps us all safe. He's an officer. And he's taking on the defending, undefeated Fresno's own. Let's bring him up. Brian Batman Williams. Look at that. I've never seen Brian in such great shape. He used to compete as a heavyweight. Now he's competing as a cruiserweight. I mean, look at him. Combination looks like Terrell Owens, looks like 50 Cent. But most of all, it's Brian Batman Williams. If you know Brian, or if you know boxing in the Fresno area, you have to know Coach B. You got to know Brian. He's worked with some of the finest fighters from MMA to boxing. He's not only in law enforcement, he's a trainer, and he also competes. He backs up exactly what he says. He's going to put his undefeated record on the line, Fresno, California, taking place at the Tower Theater. Tickets are going to go on sale next month. And I tell you what, co-promoting is going to be Mona Wins Casino. It's going to take place. You got to see Brian right there. Let's pull up El Gato one more time. Gordo Zamudio. I mean, look at that dude right now, man. I mean, I'm not sure this guy's in MMA or if he's going to rob you in the alley. He just has that look, but he is a peace officer. But when that bell rings in the ring, hey, ya estuvo, that's it. That's all she wrote. He's telling everybody this fight is not going the distance. It's a grudge match. It's real. Even though they're on the same side of the law and side of the ring, they're not on the same side. And it's going to take place March 14th, taking on Brian Batman Williams. I want to bring Brian back up on there, and then we're going to move on. Brian Batman Williams, please. I need the picture. There we go. Let's go with the flow. Let's kind of feel this right here because I don't want to be searching anywhere. Brian Batman Williams, he's going to be ready to go March 14th. Tickets go on sale next month. Tower Theater. Brought to you by, go ahead and put that logo on there. Move on from that. Come on. There you go. Fresno County Public Safety Association. Sponsored by and put on by Fresno County Public Safety Association. Now let's move on to the fight. I want to move on from that because we're not flowing right here. We need to start flowing a little bit. We need to get our shit together and get moving. I want to talk about Richard Torrez, who's going to be competing his first time as a professional inside of the ring. We're going to give him a call right now and see if he's available. We're going to put him right on the spot and see what's going on here. Let's do this right now. See if he picks up. We're going to surprise him. If we can bring him on the show, that's going to be good.
Hello?
Hey, how we doing? Rich, is Junior available?
Yeah, here, hold on.
All right, let's put him on.
Hey, how's it going?
Good. How you doing, my man?
I'm doing well, doing well.
Hey, how are you feeling, man? I mean, let's put his picture back on there. I'm talking to Richard here.
Say that one more time?
No, I'm talking to our engineer. There we go. Let's keep that picture until we know when to move along. We got Richard Torrez Jr. on the line with us right now. U.S. Olympian, silver medalist, 2020 Olympics, making his professional debut, signed by Top Rank, ready to go. We're not moments away. We're hours away. You know, I mean, when you say moments away, we're going to be there at the fight. Richard, you weighed in today. You got to see your opponent. I'm sure you sized him up. Right now, you're probably having dinner with your dad.
Mm-hmm.
The whole week, man, what's it been like being Richard Torrez Jr.?
I mean, it's the calm before the storm, you know? And so every day is slowly and slowly getting closer and closer. So the nerves are getting actually, like, less and less, honestly. Like, I'm starting to feel more and more ready as the time progresses because this is kind of my area. You know, when I first when I was at school and everything like that, it was kind of weird because I wasn't around any other boxing people, and I was like, oh, man, this is kind of nerve-wracking. And I finally get into the boxing environment again, you know, and I see all the familiar faces, people know me, and it reminds me, like, all right, this is our game, you know, and so I'm just really excited to fight tomorrow.
Richard, you know, I was talking to you yesterday. I've interviewed you yesterday, and you were very relaxed, but at the same time kind of wound up, and at the same time anxious to get in the ring.
Yeah.
Somebody had said, hey, how's Richard's feel? And I said, bro, he's ready to get in the ring. He kind of remind me of Mike Tyson, but just a little bit more nicer. But he's ready right now. Right now, he's waiting for that bell to ring. I mean, that's just the vibe I got off you yesterday.
No, 100%. Yeah, it's something we've been preparing for a while. And it's something I've always said that the limits were my goal, but, you know, like that's not like this is so far off those limits, you know, like this is on track, you know, we're on track for what we need to do and accomplish, and I'm ready and I'm hungry, you know, and this is the plan, and this is the path that I'm taking.
Well, you know, you're taking one heck of a path, and you got a plan, and you got a journey right ahead of you. Richard, after watching you yesterday, man, you have to be the happiest boxer ever. You know why? Because there's no weight cut in your division, my man.
There isn't, yeah, but I mean, I keep my own weight.
I know you do. I know you do.
I have limits, yeah. Like I'm not gonna come in too far over. I fought the Olympics at 225. I came in at 228. I'm slowly trying to build up. You know, this camp I was about 230, 235, and so I'm slowly getting there. You know, I wouldn't call myself a full heavyweight just yet. You know, just because they're so much bigger than me, but I'm packing a punch. You know, I got some good weight to move on.
You know, I got to ask some of these questions, man. I mean, last time we spoke, you said, you know, Richard, I'm going to keep it simple with my walk-in gear, etc. I don't know if you can reveal to everybody exactly what you're wearing, but I'm anticipating and I'm excited to see what you're going to wear. And first of all, what song are you coming out with tomorrow?
I'm walking out to Moonlight Sonata. It's a rendition by it, so there's going to be a little bit of like a beat drop and a little bit of a twist on it, as you say, but overall it's Moonlight Sonata because I love classical music.
Well, there you go. You know, hey, that means there's some thought behind this. I mean, you're not just saying, hey, play this song. You know, you already vision everything and you're putting it together mentally, and the physical part's about to take place in you know, less than 24 hours.
Oh, 100%. Yeah, you know, I'm ecstatic for it because, you know, there's always those nerves. So you can never get around those nerves. You know, you don't when you're boxing an amateur and you don't when you're boxing a pro. It's something that you're always gonna have to deal with, and I feel like that's one of the best things I love about boxing is being able to overcome those nerves and get in the ring. You know, and I'm ready to do that.
There has to be somebody on Team Torrez more excited than you and happier than you. I'm telling you that right now. The glow on your father's face. I would think he's gonna get in the ring.
My dad might as well be getting there with me because he moves and flips every time I do, you know. I feel like he feels every punch I get hit with, and he throws every punch that I throw. And that's just it's the way our relationship is. It's like we get in there together, and it's going to be really hard to beat two people at the same time.
Well, let's exactly. I'm looking forward to your bout. That's the cold main event of the evening. But there's a couple other bouts, of course, we're going to put our attention to. I mean, you got Gabriel Flores Jr. He's going to be getting in the ring. His first comeback fight since his first defeat. He's taking on Abraham Montoya. This guy's 20 wins, 2 losses, just 1 draw, 14 KOs. This isn't no cakewalk here. What's your take after talking with Gabriel? What's your take on his mentality going in?
Gabriel's Gabriel. I had the pleasure of going to Junior Worlds with him when I was 15, and Gabe's Gabe, man. Like he is very sure of what he can accomplish, and I admire that from him. Because he knows what he's gonna go in there and what he's gonna do, and he follows through with it. Gabe is an amazing boxer. He has an amazing style, and I'm looking forward to seeing him fight and show everybody that loss didn't mean anything. And I think he's doing it against a really tough competition too. And I'm excited to watch that fight if I can.
Well, yeah, exactly. And actually, him and Jose Ramirez, common ground. They're going to get up against tough opponents. Actually, coming back from their first loss. There was one thing about Gabriel that got your attention more than his style, more than his jab, more than his swag. Let's talk about that ice he had around his neck yesterday, man.
Ooh, that was crazy, wasn't it?
Yeah, I saw it too. I had to have the camera guy turn the lights down because there was too much light in the building.
Yeah, no, that dude carries about 3 or 4 chains on him at all times. Yeah, I'm only carrying one with me right now though. I got a silver chain just to symbolize the silver medal, and then I have a silver coin that's wrapped around my silver chain. I showed you that on the podcast, but
yeah,
I got
you did.
A silver coin that was from the year 1999, kind of symbolizing that I've been working for that medal my entire life. And that's all I need right now. I'm very proud of that medal, and I'm very proud to rep this chain too.
Well, just know that podcast, that interview, I did send it to some representation from ESPN and also Top Rank, and I said, hey, feel free to use any of it if ever possible, if ever needed. So I'm not just shopping myself around. I'm shopping you around too, my man. But I mean, you're an easy sale.
I appreciate that, but you got the right to, man. We've been with you forever.
I appreciate that. Before I let you go, man, I want to talk about the main event. Jose Pedraza taking on the Avenal kid, Jose Ramirez, man. I mean, you've been around Jose and you've been around the other Jose, and you could just feel kind of the tension, and both fighters are ready. What's Jose contributed to you as far as just watching him, and what advice has he given you?
Jose's knocked down doors all over the Central Valley for me. I would have never dreamed of making my pro debut in Fresno, of all places. I would have thought it had to be in New York or Las Vegas or somewhere else. But because of Jose and what he's done, I'm able to make my pro debut in front of my home crowd, in front of the home family, and in front of my town. And that's amazing. That's unbelievable. That's all due to Jose Ramirez. And he's been a legend here. Everyone that I know, he talks to. Everyone I know, they talk about Jose Ramirez, and not just about his boxing ability, but his character. And I feel like Jose Ramirez has kind of instilled the thought that the Valley breeds role models, and so I get to kind of ride that wave too and say, like, I'm like Jose Ramirez in some of those ways and try to be a role model myself. And, he really tries to display what a professional athlete should be like, and I'm forever grateful for that.
Well, he's the true meaning of champion inside and outside of the ring. And remember, Richard, iron sharpens iron, my man. So he's gathering some stuff off of you, too. Believe me, every boxer that wants to grow is always open to receive, man. Richard, I'm going to let you take the rest of the evening off. Tomorrow, the day, buddy, I don't got to tell you. Your family has told you it belongs to you. Tomorrow is yours. Jose's going to have his moment. Gabriel's going to have his moment. Rich Ortiz is going to have his moment. Richard Torrez Jr. is going to have his moment in front of millions of people, making his pro debut, getting to do exactly what he was born and raised to do. Before you were even thought of, my man, the Lord knew you were going to make your pro debut in Fresno, California.
Appreciate this. What dreams are made of, right?
Exactly. And when you make that ring walk, man, every step is towards your dream and your goal.
Definitely will, and I'm excited. Thank you.
Hey, you got it. Hey, what do you got to say to all the fans that watch and support Richard Torrez Jr.?
Hey, thumbs up for Richie.
I appreciate that, man. Thank you, my man. Have a good evening and appreciate your time, Rich.
Appreciate you. Thank you. I'll talk to you soon.
Sounds good.
Bye-bye.
Bye. And there we are. Richard Torrez Jr. Ladies and gentlemen, we're talking about just hours away, less than 24 hours of him making his professional debut. Took time out of his, I probably bugged him when he was eating a steak or something, but to talk to the fighter's voice, give us his laydown on Gabriel Flores Jr., making his first entrance inside of the ring since his first defeat, and also Jose Ramirez also coming off his first loss. I mean, he sounds cool, collective, and positive. But you know what? I want some more insight on tomorrow's show. So I'm going to call right now and see. Hopefully he answers, excuse me, Mr. Evan Korn, the publicist of Top Rank Boxing. We'll see what he says. Let's see what we can do for you guys. Because I know you guys tuned in, and I want to give you guys a great show. Let's see what happens here. Oh, my gosh. How many phones does he have? I better go off the one that I just took. There we go. He's probably going to say, Richie, that's my personal phone. We'll see.
Hey, Richie, what's up?
Hey, Evan, how we doing?
Hanging in there, buddy.
Hey, man, you got a minute? You ready to go, my man?
Yeah, how much time do you like? 10 minutes?
Hey, man, give us 10 minutes. Give us 11 minutes of your time.
11 minutes, beautiful.
Awesome. Ladies and gentlemen, Evan Korn, the publicist of Top Rank Boxing, one of the main main people behind the scenes that make things happen. Evan, first, before we talk about tomorrow's event, I want to ask you, last week, Josh Taylor's fight, we talked about it off camera, off air, about the energy in that atmosphere. Talk to us about that experience that you experienced, and also what we missed as fans needing to be there live and what their fans are like.
You know, there's really nothing like UK fans anywhere in the world, or any venue or any location that I've been to. Scotland, England, they're just truly a special bunch. They have a passion for boxing that really surpasses anywhere I've been to. And it's sort of like a soccer match, a lot of singing and chanting and songs, and it's a very celebratory atmosphere, something you don't really get in the United States. You know, the closest thing we have is those hometown atmospheres, like, you know, Jose Ramirez fights in Fresno, and when Terrence Crawford fought in Omaha. But the UK is really a different level than that even. So as the atmosphere when Jose fights in St. Martin is very unique, but the UK is really something special. And the Taylor fans, you know, I've been waiting a long time for him to come home. It's been like 4 years or so since he had fought in Scotland, and they were ready for him to come home, and he was still is the undisputed champion, and they showered him with praise. It was definitely one of the most intense, passionate fight night atmospheres I've ever been to.
Evan, what makes them special? I mean, what is it that stuck out in your mind?
They love boxing. They just love boxing. That's what it is, you know. And certainly, you know, a little liquid courage and liquid enhancement.
Absolutely.
Adds to that as well. They know how to have a good time and enjoy themselves, but they're just passionate boxing fans. You know, when you go around the city of Glasgow last week, anybody you'd run into, they'd want to talk about the fight, or if they found out that that's why you're in town, they wanted to know. They wanted to know about Josh. They wanted to know about the fight. They were just all in. You know, the media coverage, every newspaper, every major TV station. I mean, it's front page news, and you know, it's something you don't get in America as much anymore. But obviously, in a place like Fresno, Jose has that impact on the community. But again, the UK, it's a feel thing. You know, you can explain it all you want, but if you're there, you feel it. And it was just something special.
Man, we could only see it on TV, man, and that's why I have to ask you. You were there, and actually, you were there for 2 weeks, correct?
Yeah, I was over at the Conbrook fight the week before, and I was in Manchester, England. That was 22,000 fans, and That might have even been more intense than the 12,500 that sold out the OVO Hydro last week for Taylor Catterall. Again, Amir Khan and Kell Brook, Khan's been a superstar in the United Kingdom for over half his life. Kell Brook has been a star fighter there for over a decade, and a lot of bad blood. So you have that sort of history. You get that sort of passion, But then those 22,000 fans, one of the biggest indoor arenas in the UK, and they filled that up, and the pay-per-view numbers there were humongous from what I was told. I know we did a pretty good number on ESPN Plus in the United States. So again, that was just two major events in the United Kingdom in 2 weeks, and again, the fans showed up. It's outside of soccer, or what they call football there, boxing is one of the bigger sports they have. It really is.
Well, you guys put the fights together and they sell themselves. You guys are putting the big names together. Let's talk about Friday. We're going to start off with talking about Gabriel Flores Jr. Coming off his first loss as a professional, getting back in the ring with Abraham Montoya. 20 wins, 2 losses, 1 draw. Abraham has 14 KOs. Top Rank isn't giving him any easy fights. He's jumping right back in there.
Gabe doesn't want easy fights. His father and trainer, they're coming off that loss. There was a couple of things that they don't think, went. A couple of things that weren't right going into that fight, and they're hungry to prove that that was just an off night. And Montoya actually beat Luis Alberto Lopez, who beat Gabe Flores in his last fight. So they're fighting a guy who beat the guy that beat them.
That's pretty gritty.
The one thing Gabe and his father don't lack for is confidence. And they're, despite what happened last time, they're still confident that, or Gabe Sr. is still confident that his son's one of the better young fighters in boxing. Gabe, as you know, has never ever lacked for confidence. Still thinks he's only 21, so he still thinks he's one of the best young fighters going. That remains to be seen. Obviously, Gabe, regardless of what happened in that last fight, still has a lot of talent, and a lot of potential. But the one thing that remains to be seen, he took a tremendous beating in that last fight, a real 10-round beating. So hopefully, if he still if too much wasn't taken out of him physically, I think you should expect to see the old Gabe Flores. And should he win, it's back on track to bigger and better things. But he's got a tough test Friday night. So hopefully he can pass that with flying colors, but we shall see.
Exactly. Without getting too deep into it, I know he's been on the radar of a lot of fighters who's made it public, who's went out on social media and has challenged young Gabriel Flores. And I'm thinking, wow, he's not even a world champion, and he's getting these big people are going out of their way to challenge him inside of the ring. So once he does get that bout,
listen. I have a lot of respect for Gabe because he's confident. He talks his stuff. But when you do that, you're going to have a lot of people that are going to chirp right back at you. So that's par for the course, and especially, when you come off a loss, that will embolden a lot of people to talk their stuff. So, that doesn't surprise me. I think Gabe welcomes that, and he he's a smart kid, and he understands that. When you're bold and you put yourself out there, you're going to get a lot of pushback, especially when you lose. But the story's not fully written yet. Again, he's 21 years old, so I think he's recovered from the Lopez fight, and if he is, there'll be a lot more big nights from ahead.
Hey, let's talk about another person making an impact in boxing, their professional debut. That's Richard Torrez Jr., the heavyweight Olympian, 2020. Silver medalist. Top Rank just swooped him up. They knew exactly what they wanted. Richard knew exactly the direction he wanted to go. It's a perfect fit. At the end of the day, he still has to perform.
We just swoop him up I think it seemed like it was a long courtship. It seemed like every promoter.
This I know.
In boxing was after him, and we're happy that Richard made the decision to come with Top Rank, and he's. Like Jose, obviously they're both from the Central Valley. He's a very community-minded young man. Like Jose comes from a small farming community. He comes from Tulare. I hope I'm pronouncing it right. Tulare.
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 Yeah. Tomato. Tulare, California, my man.
Tulare. Yes.
There you go. There you go. Think of two and then the name Larry.
Exactly.
There you go.
So Tulare. he very very community focused young man. Looks up to Jose. Not just for what he does in the ring, but as he mentioned yesterday, he looks up to Jose for the impact he's made in the community, and I know that's he wants to obviously follow his footsteps, become a champion one day. But I know that he wants to leave a legacy outside of the ring, and he really is well on his way. I mean, you talk about a young man like Jose, comes from a great family, great
Yes.
mom and dad, siblings, good support system. He's already got a bunch of endorsements over there with some Valley companies, car commercials and the like. So he's well on his way outside the ring, and we believe he has a lot of promise inside the ring, and obviously that's why Top Rank made that commitment to him coming out of the Olympics.
What can we expect tomorrow? How long is it going to go?
How long is it going to go? Listen, I think he's going in there to try and make a statement, and it's a scheduled 6-round fight. So let's say he gets it done within the first half of that 6 rounds.
I believe so. But we got to make sure he saves some, because I caught a conversation between you and him about battling in a race or a marathon. What's that all about, Evan?
Listen, he's a good runner. I'm a runner. I'm a pretty good recreational runner myself. So I told Richard, anytime we're in the same town, let's go at it. Let's go for a run. Friendly run.
There you go. Hey, hey. We'll endorse and we'll promote this challenge, and we'll promote the race when it does happen the next time you come around Fresno.
Listen. No cameras. We'll just mano a mano.
Of course. Hey, I may be running with you, okay? Or running away from you guys.
Listen, it's getting to shape, Richie. I'm happy to have you.
Okay. You recognize the extra, material on my shirt, I guess. Okay, let's change that subject now.
Pandemic affected us all, Richard.
Oh my gosh! I guess I'm gonna have to get Dr. Charles Tremblay in my corner and make sure he helps take the weight off.
You get Dr. Charles in there, just give yourself a week. He'll be back and fighting for him.
Absolutely. Listen, I want to let you go, but of course we're not going to let you go. Let's talk about the main event, man, and talk about an even matchup, even money. I mean, Jose Ramirez, Jose Pedraza. I mean, this guy's 29. 3 losses, 14 knockouts, man. Jose does not want any easy fights. Robert Garcia said earlier in an interview, if it was up to him, he would have took the fight. But Jose wants the fight. He wants tough competition. He wants to throw his name back into the hat of the world titles.
Well, he knows that win over Pedraza, especially with Taylor now moving up and the some vacant belts out there. Or it looks like Taylor's moving up, and that's what he said he's going to do. That the winner of that fight is positioned very, very well for a world title in his next fight. So, Jose is the kind of guy that needs challenges to get motivated. Pedraza is a former 2-weight world champion and a big challenge. So Jose will have no problem getting up for that fight. And should he win 2022, he'll be in position again to challenge for a world title and become a 2-time world champion at 140 pounds. So, Pedraza. The question is, obviously Jose's going to be pressuring all night, but can Pedraza hold him off for 12 rounds and outbox him for 12 rounds? That's a tall task for Pedraza. But as we've seen, when he won the lightweight world title over Ray Beltran, that was a pressure fighter that he outboxed and knocked down and outworked and outhustled. And the question is, can he do the same thing to Jose Ramirez? Jose's younger and fresher than Ray was at that time. So it's a tall task for Pedraza, but it's the challenge that Jose Ramirez wanted. I know that he wouldn't rather Save-Mart Center is the one place he number one place he'd like to have it. He hasn't been home in about 3 years due to the pandemic, and obviously we had the fights in the bubble and other factors, and Taylor fight being in Vegas, so he hasn't been home in 3 years. So I know that it's a homecoming he's really looking forward to.
You've been around him. What's your take on this Jose? Do you see a different Jose? Do you see a hungry Jose, or is it the same Jose Ramirez?
I see the same Jose. I mean, I think he mentioned it yesterday. He took the loss tough. He was he took the loss very tough, but he realized that most of the people that were in his corner before that loss stayed in his corner after the loss. He still has the same training team, Robert Garcia and Dr. Tremblay. So he's got the same team in his corner. He's one of the best teams in boxing. Rick Morigian's obviously helping promote the event, and I just see a very determined Jose, who's not going to let one loss define him. It was an excellent fight against Josh, a relatively close fight. I mean, I thought Josh clearly won it, but it was a competitive fight. 2 knockdowns ultimately being the difference. Yeah. So, I think Jose needed a little break, and he'll be back. And I expect sort of vintage Jose Ramirez, and we'll see if that is enough to beat a very seasoned former champion like Pedraza.
You know what? Hats off to Jose. I mean, after that loss, he did take some time off. He actually gave the Fighter's Voice the first interview since losing to Taylor. Made time to go visit Madera High School, made an impact with all the students. All our local channels were there. We had some students that were struggling with their credits. A lot of them, the reports came back that after Jose's speech, which is easy to do, he doesn't have to prepare for it. All he has to do is tell his life story, made a positive impact on a lot of these students. So he's just not touching lives inside of the ring, outside, with the water and the farm. But going to the schools, I mean, he definitely has a future, and possibly, I'll say it now, possibly the next mayor of Fresno, California, one day.
No, whatever he wants to do in this community, he can. And it's whatever he chooses to do, he can do. And hopefully he has a few good years left in boxing before he has to make that decision. But yeah, if he wants to be a mayor, he'll be impacting the valley well after he retires. Again, it comes down to comes from hardworking parents, a real immigrant success story, and he grew up with that blue collar ethos. When he was an amateur kid, he was working in the fields. He worked at Starbucks. I mean, Jose was always working hard and in and out of the ring, and that's never changed.
No, it hasn't. Hey, Evan, and you've never changed. You've always keep it 100, man. It doesn't matter what time of the day. You keep it solid. You make up your own mind. You're never influenced. You go by what you know, and I appreciate that. And you always make time for the Fighter's Voice, man. I really do appreciate that.
No, I'm always happy to be on, Rich. And as I told you before, it's always it's Fight Week tradition to either go on your show, go in the studio with you. So it's always a pleasure. And, Fresno is always one of the favorite stops on the top-ranked traveling roadshow. So we're happy to be back. It's been our first time since the pandemic started. So we're just excited to return to Save Mart Center, which is really one of the best atmospheres in the country. So excited to be there. Hey,
I appreciate you taking time. Enjoy the rest of your dinner, and as always, I'll see you tomorrow, my man.
Thank you, Richard. We'll talk soon.
Okay, my pleasure. Okay, have a good evening. Ladies and gentlemen, Evan Korn. My gosh. I mean, they're just coming everywhere. I just got a text me. If you don't have time today, we can do it tomorrow. I got to blah, blah, blah. No, I'm going to call you, Daniel. I'm going to call Daniel right now. So that means he's watching the show. Dun, dun, dun. Daniel has an event coming up Saturday. We're going to call him right now. We're going to make sure this happens. Daniel Gonzalez. This is what we do.
Hello?
Daniel, my man. Daniel Gonzalez from Daniel Boxing Team, man. How you doing? How you feeling?
Good, Rich. How are you, man?
I'm doing good. Ladies and gentlemen, I want to introduce Coach Daniel Gonzalez from Gonzalez Boxing Team, based out of Madera, California. They're putting on a show Saturday, March 5th. They were going to put it on Friday. No, actually, Jose was going to fight Saturday, but when Jose found out Daniel's throwing a show Saturday, he said, hey, let's fight Friday because everybody needs to be there at Madera High School, Madera, California. The show is going to begin, amateur show is going to begin at 1 p.m. and at approximately 4 to 5 p.m. with 20 bouts that are going to be there. And you're also giving out 3 titles. Is that correct, Daniel?
That is correct. We're giving out, I take that back. We're giving out 20 belts.
20 belts?
20, every bout is the winner's going to receive a belt.
Oh, yeah, we're pulling it up right now on the screen. My gosh, they look nice.
Yeah, no, we went all out. Fortunately for us, we were we're blessed to have some good sponsors, man. So what we did is we gathered all of the main sponsors, and we
Yes.
put all their generous donations together, and we went out and got $6,000 worth of belts, and every bout there's potential to win them. We're also having a fight of the night belt. So whoever brings it and shows up with their A game, they're going to have the option as well to walk home with 2 belts.
Well, you know what? Tell us, Dan, everybody that's watching and listening, and they go to this event Saturday, what can they expect? I mean, can they get something to eat while they're there? Are they listening to me? Do you have a DJ? Is there music? Talk to us. What's this event like?
So we have Mario. It's going to be showing up out of Madera. He's going to be the DJ there. We have Pacheco's Tacos. He's pulling up in his big truck, fully catering the event as well. You name it, man. It's full snack bar for the kids. All the junk that you can think of that they're going to want to eat before and after the fight. Hopefully it's after the fight so they can make weight and put on the show that we're expecting them to put on. But it's going to be a good event, man. I hope everyone in the valley and beyond can come out and actually witness it. It's our first event, and like I said, man, the kids have been training really, really hard, and they're going to be putting on a good show for you guys.
And I'm looking at the ticket prices, $20 a ticket. You get 20-plus bouts. You get good food. You get entertainment. Plus, I'm hearing the fighter's voice is going to be selling some T-shirts and sweatshirts there, along with Gonzalez boxing team is also going to be selling some apparel. There we go. I'm pulling up the shirt, the sweatshirts, the hoodies will be on sale. And also, I believe you, Daniel Gonzalez, are going to be selling your own gear there as well.
We are. We're going to be selling shirts, sweaters, gloves, hand wraps, basically everything that you'll find on our website, GonzalezBoxingGym.com, or in person here in our gym. We're going to have at the event. So, like I said, we're excited, man. It's going to be a good turnout.
Well, hey, after this, there's going to be some kids knocking on your door, blowing your phone up. They want to be a part of the team. Where are you exactly located? Tell everybody that's listening in.
So we are off of Club and Shell here in Madera. So it actually started off as a small gym just to train my son, and before we knew it, he needed a sparring partner or two. So we got another sparring partner, and it just snowballed. It was a snowball effect, and we have close to 40 kids now. So we're blessed. We're fortunate enough to have a good team, good parents to make sure their kids get to practice every day, and the gym's thriving. We're doing great.
Man, you know what? I mean, I know during the show you mentioned that you got some great sponsors. Let us know some sponsors that really stepped up for you to help contribute to the youth of today.
Right off the bat, we had Fuentes Concrete. They came in as our main belt sponsor.
Nice.
Shortly after that, we reached out to Build to Sell, also known as Pro Realties. They also contributed to the belts, and then finally we had Barber Avenue out of Madera as well. Without them, we wouldn't be able to do what we're doing for these kids. So I want to give a big shout out to all of them. They're without them, like I said, we wouldn't be able to do what we're doing.
Exactly. You know, it was my plan, my intent to bring some of the fighters that I know personally down to the event, and a lot of them really didn't even want. I mean, I passed it to them, but they fight Friday, so their mindset is set on Friday. Now, don't be surprised if those doors open and you see the likes of so-and-so, so-and-so, and so-and-so. They couldn't really commit to it because a lot of times we don't know what's going to happen in the future of boxing. And
I understand completely. If it happens, then that would be amazing. And if not, we can definitely get them in on the next one, plan it out
absolutely
a little bit better. Like I said, unfortunately, the way kind of things worked out with their schedule and ours, it's conflicting with one another. But there'll be plenty more to come for sure.
And I know right before your event Saturday, I know you, Daniel, a boxing fan, big supporter of Jose Ramirez, is going to tune in, if not be there, at the Jose Ramirez Pedraza fight, Fresno, California, Save Mart Center, live on ESPN Plus, making it happen, backing up the Avenal kid, the former unified two-belt holder, Jose Ramirez, and soon to be two-time world champion with a victory if he's able to pull it off and be successful this Friday.
No, absolutely, and he will be. he has heart, man. He could have picked someone that would have been an easy bout for him. He chose the sniper. You know, that guy's his record speaks for itself. They're both going to bring it. That's all I could say. At the end of the day, I think Jose Ramirez is going to come out victorious. At least that's what we're hoping for. And I know with the heart that guy has, that's what's going to happen.
Hey, man, before I let you go, man, who helps make things happen? What's the hottest podcast you know?
The Fighter's Voice, baby.
The only voice that matters. Hey, I'll let you get back to training, Daniel, and I'll see you Saturday.
I appreciate it, man. Thank you. Have a good night.
You got it. You too. Daniel Gonzalez, ladies and gentlemen. Those of you who don't know, now you know. Immediately following, the very next day, the Jose Ramirez fight, you go to Fresno, California, you purchase a ticket, you go and watch great fights, professional boxing at its finest, and then Saturday, 20 minutes away. Okay, we're going to do that right there. You know, hey, something about live TV, things happen. The very next day, you get to go to Madera, California, 20 minutes away, and watch live amateur boxing. I mean, all the professionals started off where these amateurs started. They all were amateurs, and now they're high-level world champion professionals. So that's $20 a ticket. The doors open at 1 o'clock. No, exactly. 12:45. Showtime's at 1 o'clock. It's going to carry on to about 2, 3, or 4. And then it's all over. It's all said and done. Watch these young fighters attempt to win these belts. There's going to be a taco truck there. You get to eat. There's going to be a DJ there. You're entertained. Inside the whole gym at South Campus, there's either going to be a heater on if it's cold, or there's going to be AC if it's burning up. So everything will be provided. Clean restrooms, clean utensils to eat in a big boxing ring. And yours truly, the Fighter's Voice, will have the microphone that day announcing the fights for these young kids. So right now, I'm going to mix it up a little bit. I'm going to give my buddy a call. And he's actually at the Doubletree Hotel where the fighters are staying. And, okay, he says, call me when you can. I will. Where the fighters are staying. And I want his old take on everything. I want to feel what the energy's like right now. Guys, you never know who I'm going to call or what's going to happen or what's going to take place. Come on, bro. You must be eating or drinking right now. You didn't say me anything? My man. Actually, he did say he was getting a haircut. But I told him, call me anyway. We'll try one more time. And then we'll move on. So don't forget, Friday, Jose Ramirez, Samar Center. Saturday, Madera, California. Daniel Gonzalez boxing team. A whole weekend of boxing. I'll let him call me back. I do want to talk about also taking place Saturday evening after the show, the amateur show in Madera. We got Fresno Zone. On the zone, Mark Castro. He's going to put his undefeated record on the line and make things happen. Mark Castro, Matchroom Boxing, signed with Eddie Hearn, had the chance to go to the Olympics, chose to go pro, and you know what? Chose a different path. And right now, he's making waves. He's making noise, man. I say within a year and a half, you're going to see Mark Castro fight for a world title. A year and a half. I say that on the rate that he's going because he's moving fast. He's just knocking these guys out, and he's doing what he needs to do. He's constantly staying in shape and staying inside of the ring. So, listen, I didn't give my prediction on the fight, but I want to talk about the Jose Ramirez fight. Let's talk about the whole poster, Mark. We're going to be watching you Saturday. Wish you all the best. Jose Ramirez and Pedraza. That is going to be a good fight. Pedraza is so relaxed and is so confident. He didn't come all this way down here just to lay down and say, okay, Jose, I mean, it's going to be your way. I said in the week prior leading up to that, I said, don't be surprised if Jose Ramirez gets off the canvas to win. After watching Jose, after watching the two, I'm going to change my mind. I see Jose, a pressure fighter, with a TKO victory in the 9th round. Jose Ramirez TKO victory in the 9th round. The first 4 rounds look for just a barn burner. I mean, Pedraza's going to bring everything that he has, every single thing. And that's even the kitchen sink. So that's my prediction. I jump right into the main event. And let's talk about Richard Torrez Jr. Don't blink. Get your popcorn. Get your sodas. Get your beer. Because if you get in line and that first bell rings, all you're going to hear is the referee count. 1, 2, 3, 4. I say, oh, gosh, it's not going 3 rounds. It's not going more than 3 rounds. I talked to Evan Korn, and he said he doesn't see it going the distance. It's scheduled for 6 rounds. Your professional debut in the main event of the evening, I see Richard Torrez winning by knockout in fine fashion within the first 3 rounds. Now let's talk about Gabriel Flores Jr. In a tough fight himself. I want to put Gabriel's picture on there. I didn't get a chance to really talk about Gabriel Flores. I actually invited him to be on the show, and I respect 100%. It says, Rich, it's before weigh-ins. I want him to hydrate. I want him to be ready. And I said, well, what about you then, Pops? He said, you know what? After this fight, we'll be on the show. I'm saying it clear because I respect it. That's how focused they are. They don't want any distractions, and I don't want to be that guy that distracts them at all, period. I saw Gabriel yesterday at the press conference, and his whole demeanor, he was locked in. He still had his smile, still had his swag. His confidence was there. But I saw a mean Gabriel in there. I saw a focused Gabriel in there. I saw actually a muscular Gabriel than before. I've never seen, a little bit of a six-pack, arms shredded, that little chest starting to come out a little bit. I can tell he's been busting his ass leading up to this fight. A lot of pressure on him mentally, physically, and even spiritually. But if there's one young man out of all these fighters right here that is headstrong, that had to be headstrong, had no choice but to be headstrong, and is going to be even stronger tomorrow inside of that ring, and that's Gabriel Flores Jr. I have Gabriel coming back in spectacular fashion. I have Gabriel winning by a 6-round TKO. And you heard it here on The Fighter's Voice. Only on The Fighter's Voice. I want to bring up a picture here, man. This picture is a statement. I'm watching that right now. And I see it, and it says, not ready, too young, overrated, cocky, no power. Professional opinion is one hell of a statement. Everybody has an opinion. Everybody says, Richard, I like your show. You have the top guests, but, you don't have too many followers or subscribers. You're absolutely true. Richard, I love your Instagram, man. I mean, I love your posts. I love what you're doing, but you don't have that many subscribers. You're absolutely true. Richard, your voice, sometimes it's this, is whatever you say, it's absolutely true. Okay, I don't got time to debate. This is what Gabriel Flores said. He basically said, to the hell with you, that everybody says that I got no power, I'm not ready, I'm too young, I'm overrated, I'm cocky. You're going to see the real Gabriel Flores come tomorrow night, Fresno, California, making it happen. I mean, hey, man, since day one that he signed as a 16-year-old, at the time, the youngest fighter ever to sign for a top rank, everybody started saying that before that motherfucker even threw a punch. Everybody was hating on him. Everybody said he wasn't ready. Everybody said he was overrated. Well, you know what? Gabriel's saying, to hell with you and wherever wagon you came in. Friday, you will see the real Gabriel Flores Jr. performed, prime, ready. I truly believe that you are going to see the best Gabriel Flores that you have ever seen in your entire life. You heard it first here, only on The Fighter's Voice. Ladies and gentlemen, I want to thank our guests, Evan Korn, the publicist of Top Rank Boxing, the heavyweight Olympian making his professional debut, Richard Torrez Jr., and the founder, the CEO, the head trainer of Daniel Gonzalez boxing team, Daniel Gonzalez himself. Ladies and gentlemen, as always, Fresno, California, worldwide, and we're coming at you, and we're coming for you. And it's a wrap. Thumbs up for Richie.